Hello and welcome to the lecture on forms. So let's create the forms, and I believe you have done the music download exercise as well. Let's create the forms. Some say working with forms, and I'm going to create two files here. I'm going to say getForm.html. Okay, we'll understand how form works, and then we'll look at form elements. Okay, so let's open that code. Let's open our boilerplate as well. Okay, so let's say is get form. Okay, forms, as if you know, forms is basically like a contact form, sign up for, register form, login form. You have these elements like text boxes, check boxes, radio buttons, submit buttons, and all those things you can create in HTML using something called as forms. Okay, and that's what we're going to create in this exercise. So we'll say simple form with get action. I'm going to see what is the action means. Okay, and how do you create a form? There's a tag called form. Okay, and using this form tag, you have to define all your elements inside the forms. Always remember, don't define form elements outside the form tag. Always define the form elements inside the form tag. Okay, how you define HTML inside the HTML? Similarly, if you want to define form tags, define inside the form tag. Okay, that is your first rule. And form basically have two important properties. The first attribute is called as method, and the method has a parameter called as get or post. Then you have an action. An action is basically telling where you want to go to. When someone submit this form, where you want to go this file to, right? That's coming up from the action. So we'll create result.html, and then we will, when someone click the button, we will go to that page. That how to and where to go to that page is defined by this action, and going from one page to another is taken care by the form. Let's understand what is this method get means. Okay, before that we'll write some fields. We'll write a submit button, reset button, and then we will try to see what is the method called as get. Okay, so how to define a text box and a label. For label, you have label, and label you can basically say for which text box you're writing this label. So I'm say there's a first name, and for the first name I'm writing this label. So after that we'll define what is first name. Okay, and this is the text I want to display. Now I'm saying the input is basically the input box, and you have to say what type it is. Okay, the input type is basically text, so the text box will appear, and you have to say what is the ID for it. Okay, this ID should match with the label for. Okay, right, and you want to show some text inside the text box, you can use placeholder, and you can say enter your first name, right? And then we'll give a name to it. It's a name like a variable name to the input box, so whatever you basically entering into this will be saved in it. Okay, then we're gonna add some new lines. Then we're gonna say last name. Okay, and then we have to have an submit button and reset button. Okay, how are we going to write the submit button? Again, you can use the input, and this time instead of saying text, you can say it is a submit button. Okay, and then you can also have the reset button. Okay, and instead of showing reset, you can say the text on the button as saying that clear form. All right, so let's look at how this form looks like. Okay, so you have a beautiful form here. So we haven't changed the type. Okay, so type is double equal to. All right, so you have your first name then you have the placeholder of first name, last name, label, then the text box of with the placeholder enter your last name, then you have submit and clear form. Okay, so once we enter this data, we want to click on submit. So when you submit, it will go to this page, results.html page. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste that file. So this is the results file, nothing fancy in that file, is just will have thanks for submitting the details and we'll get back to you soon. Okay, the most important thing that you have to understand is what is this method get says. Okay, why is you are saying a method as a get? There are two types of form actions, get and post. So get is basically when you submit a result, let's say first and last. So when you click submit, right, you went to the results page, right, but you can see the data now, right? These are the variable names that we have given assigned to the input tags, and you can see the data here. This is called as get. When you say get, the form fields are attached in the URL. Okay, and we can even do post. There's one more type. I will simply do it post. Right, let's open it up and just change it to post. Okay, rest all remains the same. I'm just changing the method so that when the data is posted, it is posted not in the URL. So if I say first and say last and I say submit, you will see it's not attached in the URL. So that's how basically get and post works. So for the get, when you enter the data and submit, it basically goes into the URL. For the post, let's go back to our post file, right? So for the post, you can watch this in the inspect mode. Okay, you go to network. So let's click submit. So once you submit, you will not able to see the data, but if you go to network tab and then when you click open this file, you're able to see that in the form data here. Let's open that up. Okay, if you open up the form data, right, you should able to see the first name and the last name. So it is sending in the header as the post, but when you use get, basically it is sending as the URL. Okay, so when it is post, it is sending in the header. When it is get, it is sending in the URL. So that's basically the method called as method post and method get. Okay, if you want to send simple text that you want to send over to another page, you can use get. But if you say sending sensitive data like user ID and password or credit card numbers, you typically use post. All right, so where do you want to send the result to is done by the action attribute. Okay, so let's quickly look at the form elements now. Okay, so I've copy pasted this form file. So let's open this up and let's do a review of what are the form fields available. Okay, so everything you define should be defined under a form field. All right, and then there's something called as field set where you can group the fields. Okay, if you want to see the output of this, okay, this output is called as form field set. Right, you see the line here is basically grouping of the fields. Okay, and you want to define, let's do a comparison with your code and the output. You want to define a legend, right? For the field set, you will get a legend where you can add some text over here. Okay, and then you have the label, and for which label you want to have this an input type is text. You will see the text box. If you say type as email, you will see for the email. You can say password, you can say number. So this only accept numbers, you cannot enter anything, you can just add numbers to it. Then you have telephone, type telephone, same input, type telephone, then type URL and type search. Okay, so you have different formats of text box that you can create. Okay, you can create options using the select. Select basically have option groups. You can create groups in it, option group 1 and option group 2, and inside each option group you can create the options, and whatever label that you give will be visible in the option. Next one is basically the radio button. So if you want to create a radio buttons, you can use the input type and type as radio. Okay, so when you say type as radio, it becomes the radio button. And only thing that you have to remember in radio button is basically the name. You have to give the same name, then that becomes into one group. Okay, and how do you add the checkboxes? Again, the type is checkbox. So once you say input and type is checkboxes, the checkboxes will appear. And then you have text area element. If you want to write a long text like this, type text in a number of rows, then basically you can use text area for it. Okay, text area, you can mention how many rows and how many columns. The columns are the width, the rows is the height. Okay, then you have the submit button, and here you have a student information form. So let's quickly review that. For name, you can use type as text and input. Again, for age, you can say input as number, and you can accept the email, telephone number. Then you have is select, that's basically the options, and you can add the primary and secondary as your option groups, and then you can have options inside the option groups. Then you can have the radio buttons, then you can have the checkboxes. Okay, and then you have your comments, which is multi-line, that is text area. And then you have your send and clear button. Clear button is when you type something you want to clear, it's automatically clear, right? Okay, so that's are the elements of a form. You can have a look at the code here. I've written all the elements here, so you can have a look, and then you can create your own form. Try to create a contact form. That's your next exercise, and try to use some of the elements here and create your own form as well. Okay, you can create a survey form, you can create maybe a employee form, whatever form that you think, maybe a sign up form, login form, but try to use these elements and try to embed them inside a form. Try to create a field set, legend, and put a label and different types of inputs that's available for you. And also you have learned how to do get and post. So try to see whether you can add some attributes to the form like action and methods, and try to navigate from this page to the results page. Alright, so that's all about form elements, and I'll see you in the next one.